Thank you, and welcome everyone to Houston, Texas, where this Western Conference semifinal resumes at a sold-out Toyota Center between the Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. The two-time defending champs open this best-of-7 series with 2 wins at home. Now the question, can the Rockets find the formula to get a win and get right back into this series? Of course, here in the conference semifinals, Portland with that historic victory last night. 4 overtimes to go up 2-1. Meanwhile, in the East, Milwaukee and Philadelphia both up 2-1 in their best-of-7 series. And good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand, Lisa Salters with us as well. The Rockets are obviously desperate for a victory. Every NBA coach, player, and fan knows what happens when you fall behind 0-3 in a best-of-7 series. But they shouldn't be dispirited, Mark, because Game 1, it's a 2-point game in the final minute. Game 2, they were only down 3 with about 6.5 to go. But how do they get over the hump and get a win?
They have the answer. The answer is James Harden. They have a guy that can take over and be the best player on the floor. And he's got to be just that. But the Warriors are saying, not on their terms. They're doing a great job of saying, you're going to see bodies in front of you. You're not playing one-on-one like you did 82 games during the course of the season. So you see Steph Curry defending him, sending him towards Draymond Green. Draymond Green's not paying attention to his man. And 3 other guys in the background just in case. This is outstanding disciplined defense, forcing him into a turnover. Again, Klay Thompson saying, you have to go right. Send him to the right. Not only worried about it because I got help. Andre Iguodala's there. Other guys are there in position to close out. And once you get it back, you're seeing a double team. Again, on our terms. And he's got to be smart. He cannot be careless with the basketball. This is a turnover waiting to happen the way that the Warriors defend him. Goodness will not beat this Warrior team, but greatness will give you a chance. And James Harden has been good thus far in this series. He's got to elevate his play to a whole different level.
Of course, it'll help if he sees a little bit better. He had that blurry vision after the eye injury in Game 2. With an update on that, let's send it over to Lisa Salters. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, James Harden played most of Game 2 on Tuesday, even though he said he could barely see. Remember, he took a shot in the eye early in the first quarter of that game by Draymond Green. He left the floor for about 10 minutes, and when he came back, he says he really struggled to see the rest of the way. His eye was bloody. He was squinting all night, obviously bothered by the bright lights in the arena. He saw an eye doctor immediately when the team got back here to Houston on Wednesday morning. And that doctor says he does not even know how Harden was able to finish that game because he said he actually bruised the retina in both of his eyes. Now, Harden's left eye is still bloody tonight. He says it's sore, but he also says he can see much better. That his vision is better and that he can see. Didn't have any problems in his pregame warm-ups. Mike, we will see.
All right, Lisa, thank you. Meanwhile, Golden State obviously happy to be up 2-0 in this series, but they feel they haven't played their best in the first 2 games, and you feel that includes Kevin Durant and Steph Curry.
Well, they're obviously excited, though, being up 2-0 with Iguodala and Green playing well. But Steph Curry in particular and Kevin Durant, to some level, both have left many points on the board. They have not shot the ball as well as they're capable. They have gotten good shots. They can make them at a higher percentage. And Steph Curry, if they want to win on the road, in particular, he has to play better.
They played so well on the road. Meanwhile, while the Stars perhaps not as good as they usually are, Draymond Green has been magnificent with his playmaking and his defense. But he's had some help as Steve Kerr's gone with Andre Iguodala in the starting lineup, and the veteran has been fabulous through the first 2 games of this series. It started Game 1 at Oracle Arena as Kevin Durant and the Warriors held off the Rockets in a game that a lot of questions about officiating. Then in Game 2, a wire-to-wire victory, and here we are ready for Game 3. This presentation of the NBA playoffs continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The NBA Playoffs Western Conference Semifinals on ABC is presented by Control Tower from Wells Fargo. This is you taking control. And in part by Honda. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer.
2 heavyweights who feel they have what it takes to win the NBA championship.
Get our second win. Let's go. Our energy can go up. This is a good time to turn it on right now.
Curry crossover, 3-pointer. Bang! Harden steps back, puts up a three, won't go. A pulsating win for Golden State here in game one.
Yeah, that's how every game will be for the rest of the playoffs, man. I think that's the way basketball is supposed to be played.
Harden on the drive. He got poked in the eye, and he's down on the deck. He is writhing in pain on his knees.
I barely could see.
Out to Thompson for three. Down the wall. Puts the three goggles on his eyes. Woo!
That's all I got to say.
Golden State does it again. They'll head to Houston this weekend for the 2-0 series lead.
They did what they were supposed to do. They won their 2 home games. Now, if we're good enough, we'll win our 2 home games.
And welcome once again to the NBA Conference semifinals on ABC. It's game 3, and it is presented by Wells Fargo. Here we go for game 3. Can the Rockets respond after losing the first 2 at Oracle Arena? The Warriors fans also here at a sold-out Toyota Center, but these Rockets fans all fired up their team back home. As we look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Modelo Especial. Andre Iguodala inserted into the starting lineup in this series, and it has paid dividends for Steve Kerr. He has been terrific in the first couple of games in those 2 wins in Oakland. Meanwhile, like D'Antoni talks about, everybody needs to play a little bit better to get over the hump and finally get a win. The 2 games in Oakland were both close. They had their opportunities but came up short. And of course, the key with James Harden, last year's MVP, perhaps this year's MVP, that's still to be determined. And as Lisa Salt has reported at the top, both the retinas were bruised. He's seeing much better. There's still some pain. One of the eyes still with some bloodshot. But Mark, as you said at the top as well, they need him to be great tonight.
There's no excuses. And obviously, he was hurt. His eyes were damaged. But this is the time of year that everybody goes through something. And he's great enough to overcome it and still be spectacular.
Meanwhile, the Rockets in these playoffs, 3-0 at home. The 3 victories in the opening round against Utah. As for Golden State, they're 3-0 on the road. The 3 victories in games 3, 4, and 6 in the first round against the Clippers in Los Angeles. They have not played since Tuesday, a little extra day.